Alright guys, I want to talk about microtransactions. This is a video I said I was going to make, and I know a lot of other content creators have said a few things about it, and really I'm going to approach this in the more, I guess the most logical way I can approach this, because I've seen microtransactions on a lot of different games, and I'm going to just kind of go about this in a way of whether or not this is an accepted thing to have in Destiny 2, and whether or not this is going to continue to be in Destiny. First off, let's go ahead and talk about microtransactions. I was actually going through Activison and their 10K, their annual reports, all their revenues, their expenses, and was just kind of looking at it, and I noticed that their product sales approximately was around 47-48% of all the revenues, which is just their base game sales. And then if you look below that, you would see things like subscriptions and some other things, which essentially just meant microtransactions, things that were bought within the game itself. And that was approximately the remaining revenue, which was around 53-52%. So as you can tell, there's a lot of revenue coming from things like microtransactions, and I don't see that ever leaving from any game Activision ever puts out, because if they were to just completely remove microtransactions, they would be in a hole about $1 billion. So yeah, I would not see them making that business call. So in terms of Destiny 2 and whether or not you'll ever see Eververse leave, absolutely not. Now, is Eververse ethical? Is this something that should be in Destiny 2? And I'm going to go ahead and give you the two best answers for that. Number one, if Destiny 2 was popping and was doing wonderful and we had all the content in the world and the game was gravy, I believe Eververse wouldn't even be a thought in anyone's mind. At the end of the day, it's just cosmetic items, and they're really not bothering me all that much. I know it's some exotics, which is kind of terrible. Like, there should be something that's like a standalone to show that this is purely just like cosmetic, whereas like if you're a new player, and that's what the problem is like if a new player comes in and sees these exotics there, they're immediately going to be like, oh, how do I obtain that? Oh, I can just buy that through here. Okay, so I just spend a little real world money right here. Great, sure, I can do that. That's no problem. And I see the exploit there, even though it's not like huge and in your face and it's blinking alerts and stuff. It is definitely still there, and they strategically place yourself getting in front of tests and getting your bright Ingram to see all of those things. So in a sense, I do not like that practice, but at the same time, in my eyes, if Destiny 2 was popping, was doing great, it wouldn't be that big of a problem. At the other side of things though, is where I think microtransactions should be allowed in the gaming world. To me, a free-to-play model is completely acceptable to have microtransactions. You take something like Fortnite and they have microtransactions, completely okay. Ion had it, other MMOs out there had it, especially just about every free-to-play MMO had some sort of microtransaction system involved. Where Bungie and Destiny 2 messes up is that, one, it's not a free-to-play game, but two, I wouldn't even call it double dipping at this point. I feel like we're almost triple, maybe quadruple dipping on our player base. You've got guys like myself that came in and bought the game not only for PS4 or Xbox on consoles, but also went around and bought it for PC. And then you've got guys that come in here and they didn't just buy just the regular Destiny version. They got the collector's edition or whatever other edition out there that was so many X amount of dollars more than the basic $60. But then wait, we have DLC that we're paying money for as well when they come out, immediately paying full price. And on top of all those things, you've got microtransactions. To me, guys, it seems like so many things here that are racking in more and more dollars for Bungie and for Activision. And again, there's just nothing to show for it. I've got no problem spending money on games. I know at the end of the day, we're all like bitching about $60 and $20, and we're all just kind of jumping up and down and we sound like children. But that's not even the point. I would pay $15 a month, and I did it for years on multiple MMORPGs at the same time, and I loved them. And the reason why I paid that much money, because they were worth that much money. They had that much content. And whenever I compare Destiny to these other games, I feel like I'm paying for another subscription MMORPG despite it not being paid monthly. But after you get done adding everything together, it's where's the content? What does it have to show? And I don't think Eververse is what's responsible for us not having a lot of content. If the entire Bungie studio is focused up on making a couple exotic ships, an exotic ghost, and a few sets of armor, then we have some huge problems. At the end of the day, the easiest way for Bungie to fix all of this is to consistently keep putting out content and to take risk. And if there's anything I can say about Destiny 2, it just doesn't seem like a risky game. And there is no risk taken that Bungie has really done. But the only risky thing Bungie has done is shoved an Eververse store in our face. And that's terrible. That shouldn't be the only risky thing. But as far as revolutionizing Destiny as a whole, nothing has changed much from Destiny 1. And actually, there's just a lot of things they have taken a step back on. Guys, microtransactions. I know we kind of got off on a tear right now about the game itself. Honest opinion, microtransactions, I just don't feel like should ever belong in this type of gaming model. But at the same time, I don't ever see it being removed either. Fellas, as always,
slap that like button like your mama told you right.
So let's get